My husband is my boss. My husband is number one. If my husband tells me, hey, sit down, I'll sit down. If he tells me you can't go out with your friends today, I'm not going to go out with my friends. If he says, hey, go wash this dish for me, I'm going to go wash the dish for him. I chose this man to be the king of my life, and yes, I agree with everything he says, and I do everything he says. And I did that because I chose this man. I put him in this position in my life, and this is how I honor and take care of and love the man in my life. So I tell women out there, you want a man in your life, you want to be happy, figure out what you would do when you are happy. Because I am happy. My husband does so many great things for me. And I would do that for him. I obey him, I respect him, and I let him be the man that he is. I chose a man that I wanted to follow. I chose someone to lead me, and that's why I will do anything for him. If he tells me jump, I'll jump. If he tells me sit down, I'll sit down. If he tells me go in the room or go up on stage, I will do either or. Anyways, that's a message for everyone out there. Love and cherish the king in your life.
Listen, y'all already know what's coming with that type of talk. That sounds like slavery. That sounds like a child, right? That sounds like she's doing the most. And don't ever say that to a woman in Western society. You know, even this woman obviously is, in Western society now. But we learn quickly that when you raise your children, especially for the guys who are looking for a woman like this, that unless she's raised and she maintains those values, morals, and principles, and you can say it's tied to her deen or her religion, then she's gonna stray away from it and adopt this Western mentality. But we have a lot to unpack in this video because I know this is very problematic for some women to watch. But before we do, it's your favorite everything, JR Wisdom. Hit that like and subscribe button along with the bell. That way you receive all the notifications for all of my future videos that have content like this. Let's run it up to 100,000. Quit playing with me, man. Quit playing with me. Stop doing it. So obviously, this woman she's a Muslimah. She's a hijabi. And, she practices Islam, which is submission in itself for those of you who don't know. And women are taught this way. They're reared this way by their mother and father, as well as their duty to the Creator, the Almighty, is to submit to your husband. As she said, she chose her husband. He is the leader of the household. He is the cherisher and sustainer of the household. He is to take everything that he has and give to his wife. Now, in every religion, you do have some men who go overboard and do treat women like, actual slaves. But the things that she's talking about, she was just giving you guys an example, you ladies an example, right, of how she reveres her husband. And your husband should only be revered based upon the authority and power that God gives him over his wife or over his woman, which basically means he has to give her everything. What I mean by that is, whatever money he gets, he has to give to her. Whatever possessions he gets, he has to give to her. He will leave to her. He's supposed to follow the example of the Prophet, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and basically be at the feet of his wife. Also, it's one of the hadiths is that the closest that you're gonna get to heaven on earth is at the feet of the mother, especially if she's in the feet of the woman. The women are revered in Islam, right? Regardless of what we see, because you can't look at a people or a group or a certain country on how they treat their women and say that that's following Islam, because it's not. So this woman obviously saying that she's happy and she does these things for her husband, even though she's giving you an example once again. She said, if he tells me to go in the room, if he tells me to fix him a plate, if he tells me this, if he tells me that, it's not a dictator and basically a subject, a constituent type of thing. And I know a lot of guys are probably, a lot of women that are watching this are like, oh, because you hear women in the West, when you just ask a woman just to do something, can you fix me a plate? All hell's gonna break loose. Can you rub my feet? All hell's gonna break loose. Can you rub my back? All hell's gonna break loose. Hey, can you pick up my mail? Can you iron my clothes for me? All hell's gonna break loose. But you want all these different things, $40,000-$50,000 ring that I saw something pop up. You want a $200,000 wedding. You want all of these things. You want your nails, hair done. all this stuff, but you can't do like something simple, and we call it slavery. This woman says she's happy. Now, a lot of y'all saying she's capping. JR, she's lying. There's no way in hell that this woman's happy. She can't be. How could a woman be happy that's being treated in this way? There's no way that this is possible, that she could be content with that. But it does happen. Ladies, there are women out there that do take care of the household and their husbands, and they have to want for nothing. And he is the coolness of her eyes as well. He is basically taking care of everything else around the house, keeping her worry free. She doesn't have anxiety around the house. Everything is smooth, calm, and peaceful because she's providing that in return, instead of complaining about things or saying or comparing what they have to other people, or making trouble, making problems in the home. It goes back to a video I just previously did about why get married nowadays. If you can't even find a woman that's willing to reciprocate what it is that you're doing, and what I mean by that is, if you're loving and caring towards her, if you're expressing gratitude towards her, if you're taking care of her, why can't she do the same thing? But I think the West has got women to the point where they feel like they are entitled to things just by virtue of them being a woman. They shouldn't have to do anything. I don't have to. I'm the princess. I'm the queen. You're my subject. And another thing that she says in this video, which I find to be very important, is women want all those things and they want to be the boss. They want to tell the boss what to do. When I say by the boss, you have the husband who's the breadwinner, who's taking care of you, making sure your life is easier, but you want to tell him what to do at the same time and how to do it. And wonder why there's dysfunction in the home, because you're in competition. Being in competition has never been a story for success. It's going to break down. Instead of working together and having a cohesive unit at home, I want to start some trouble. Or you have some women who've never been married, don't know what a stable household looks like, have never seen a husband and never will get married, advising women on what they should and shouldn't be doing. And then and that's why when she mentioned something, if he doesn't want me hanging around, or if he wants me not to hang with my friends today, then I won't. In certain cases, men will peep things with women and their friends and how their friends are going in certain ways, and they'll tell them about it and say, hey, that's not a good look. And this is where men, you guys need to put your feet down. Where you'll tell her, like, I don't like how you rocking with those girls. These women don't have nothing going on for themselves. And the woman will feel some type of way when you say that, right? This is a woman that's disobedient. This is a woman that's not willing to listen to you and doesn't trust you. She'll go back and tell that woman. Obviously, that woman or friends is not going to be in agreement. Oh, he's trying to control you. He's trying to do this. He's trying to do that. Next thing you know, there's nothing but distrust in the home. There's chaos in the home. There's arguments starting just based off of this situation that she's got going on that may be leading your wife away from this union that you guys have. And it's not that you don't want her to have friends, but when you notice what's going on and you peep it ahead of time that this isn't, this just isn't the crowd you should be hanging with. But some women enjoy that. Some women enjoy hanging out with their single friends and going out and things like that. And what ultimately ends up leading with that, it never really turns out well. And some women will watch this video and they'll say, well, JR, I know what I'm doing. I got single friends. I go out to the club all the time. Why can't married women go to the club, JR? I'm married. I go to the club. And they just like defending all this stuff. There's temptation. The people who you hang around with is who you are. I'm sorry. Who you spend a lot of time with, that's who you are. Some women, I guess you can say, well, I just like to gossip. I just like to do these things. What does that say about you at the end of the day? You married your husband should be for a reason, because you trust him and you respect his judgment. You should know ahead of time if he's controlling or not. But some men are genuinely trying to give you advice on what he sees and what you don't, because he's trying to protect the family dynamic. A lot of women really don't care at some point, and if she's willing to do these things, she really doesn't want to be married to you anymore. That's what we see a lot of times, and a lot of people don't get it. A lot of women don't get it because they hear so many things. They don't know what a solid foundation looks like, and they let outside entities, and that's what happens a lot of times in marriages. Outside entities get into the marriage, and they end up destroying and breaking two people apart that were together, and things were successful. This tends to happen. They speak things, they whisper things into the ears of these women, and these women feel like they should have more. I should have more. I should have more. I need to have more. He's not doing enough. I need to have more. When this guy's sitting up here providing and trying to communicate and all things were going well, a lot of ladies and fellas that are watching, you'll notice typically when a transition, if things are going well in your marriage, you'll typically know when the transition happens. You'll start to see it sometimes where this person changes. This person wants more freedom. This person feels like they're a slave, or they're doing too much, or they shouldn't be doing this, they shouldn't be doing that. Arguments start. When petty arguments start, you notice women start petty arguments. Yeah, it's time to get up out of there. It's time to get up out of there. But breath of fresh air, obey your husband. And she says, which is dope what she said. She says, I'm not just choosing any man, right? Obey your husband and pick your husband wisely. A lot of you women are with guys that that are living with you because it forces you not to level up. You're with guys that ain't shit. You with guys that can't do anything for you, and you keep choosing the same guy and end up complaining about it and wonder why you're not getting married. Wonder why you're stuck in the same position, because it's something within you that doesn't want better, or doesn't force you to be the woman that a real husband would want, because that's doing too much. I don't have to do shit for some of these guys except pay their bills or have him move in with me. Therefore, I don't have to. I can just be, sloppy, out of shape, argumentative, not healthy, basically have a junky house and all this stuff, but I'm providing him with a place to stay. And that fundamentally is the mindset of a lot of women who choose certain guys. I'm just saying. But shout out to her. Shout out to that young lady. It doesn't take. She was raised right, right? She was raised right, and this is a woman that basically knows her place, right? And this doesn't mean that she doesn't have freedom or she can't have some sort of independence, right? Doesn't mean that. It just means that she's keeping peace in the home. She's listening. She's thoughtful. And the way she talks sounds like her husband is doing the same thing, man. And that's what it's supposed to be about. Anyway, I'm done talking. Let me know what you guys think about this video. Comment below. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. Hit me up on Linktree to book a one-on-one with yours truly. Purchase all my books, merch, t-shirts. Helps to support the channel. Follow me on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. Do that like right now. And with that being said, much blessings and abundance. This is wisdom. Stick around for the next video that's going to pop up on the screen. And that's where I'm going to see you guys at. I'm out of here. Peace.
It's God's beat maker.
And I don't know. I will put a light in the sky for the G's that done turn memory from go. Blessings we send to the ghetto youth them.